Hello and welcome into our NJCAA Network studio. I'm Phil Constantino. This is the Division II Women's Basketball Tournament Selection Show. The field of 16 will soon be announced. It's all champions, all district champions and automatic qualifiers into this field. No at-large selections in Division II. Here's the bracket that we will soon fill in. These games to be played March 21st through 25th. At the SC4 Fieldhouse in Port Huron, Michigan. All games will be broadcast on the NJCAA network, including consolation games. First round games, Tuesday and Wednesday, March 21st and 22nd. The championship on Saturday, March 25th. So, for the national champion, it will require 4 wins in 5 days. Let's start at the top. Let's meet the number 1 overall seed. Morton is number 1, unbeaten, 31-0, the Midwest B district champions. Not much of a surprise here. They were number 1 in the final poll. It's the 3rd consecutive appearance in this tournament for Morton, and they've all come since 2021. Third-year head coach Jason Nichols took him to the tournament for the first time and has taken him to the tournament every year since. They were the runner-up last season, losing to Kirkwood in the championship game. Morton is the number 1 overall seed. The number 2 seed, CCBC Essex, the Mid-Atlantic District champs, 32-1. The only loss for the Knights came to Harcum, another district champion and tournament team. That was back on January 17th. Since, they've won 15 consecutive games and finished number 2 in the final poll. So, not too much of a surprise here at number 2, CCBC Essex. It's their 3rd tournament appearance and their 2nd in a row. The number 3 seed is Kirkwood, the reigning national champion, making their 20th tournament appearance. 3rd in a row. The Eagles were number 3 in the final poll. North Central District champs, 29-2, the overall record. So, holding serve here, seeds 1, 2, and 3. The number 4 seed is Johnson County, the Plains District champions, 32-1 on the year. 4th in the final poll. The Lady Cavaliers are making their 13th tournament appearance. They won the national title in 2000 and won it again in 2015. So they are seeking a 3rd national championship. Those are the top 4 seeds: Morton, CCBC Essex, Johnson County, and Kirkwood. Each one of those 4 teams, the top seed in their respective quadrant of this 16-team bracket. Jason Nichols is now with us. He is the head coach of Morton, the number 1 seed in this tournament, and he has, without question, the most well-staged, TV-ready setup of any head coach, any committee chair, anyone that we have spoken to on these selection shows, I think on any of them that we've done over the years. Jason, congratulations. Midwest B district champions at 31-0. What has this season been like?
Been great. You know, we got off to a really good start. We played a lot of really good teams early in the year, making a trip out to Phoenix, playing Mesa. We played Lakeland, ICC, and Bryan Stratton, Rock Valley. And, you know, we got off to a good start and got things rolling right away, and it's kind of continues throughout the year.
First in the final poll, did you expect to be number 1 when the committee announced its seeding?
I kind of had an idea if it was based on your body of work through the year and that we were ranked the last 8 weeks. So, yeah, I kind of expected it and hoped. You never know. I don't know how that plays out, but we're honored. And it's just, again, it's kind of your body of work and what we did all year. So it's just a start in the right direction.
You've brought Morton to national prominence in this tournament. They had not previously been in this tournament at all. And now, 3 years under your direction, 3 consecutive trips to this tournament, and now this year, you're the tournament favorite. You're the number 1 seed. What has the build been like over your first 3 years?
Well, you got to get kids, and we've gotten really good kids. If you have kids, you can win. So that's the number one thing. We have talent. our kids have bought into what we like to do. And, being the favorite is a little bit different than last year. I thought, we're kind of hunted now, where last year we went in there, we're kind of unknown. And it was kind of nice to play that role, but it's definitely different. And we always get everybody's best, and you're going to get everybody's best in the games that you play down there. And hopefully it's 4 of them. You
feel any pressure as the unbeaten favorite?
No, not really. Our whole approach never changes, whether we have 1, 2, 3, or 4 losses. So we work hard. We prepare for everybody. We respect the opponent that we're going to play, and we treat everybody serious. So no, you don't really consume yourself with that. You don't talk about it. You got to talk about the team that's in front of you. And that's kind of the approach that I've actually had with any opponent through my whole career.
You mentioned getting good players. Mia Simpson, she's shooting 74% from the field. How does one shoot 74% from the field for a season?
Well, that's unbelievable. And, her mid-range game is really good. She's unbelievable around the basket. And it's kind of it hurts her a little bit in my mind, because if she misses like 2 shots, I'm like, what the heck's going on here? And she was 18 to 24, and I remember the 6 misses. I forgot about all 18 of her makes. So she has put that expectation on us as coaches that when she does miss, you're kind of like, something going on? What's wrong with her? But she's been incredible. And she's awesome around the basket. She's a load.
I mean, I don't think following this game, you've been around this game, I don't think I've ever seen anybody at any level, men's or women's, shoot 74% for a season.
And she's a guard. And
that's amazing.
I've had post players in the past that do that, but not a 5'9" guard. But she can rebound at 6'3". She plays at that height, and she is just really, really good. It is incredible. It is. It's something that should be talked about, and it's well deserving of her because she's put in a ton of work.
Runner-up to Kirkwood in the 2022 tournament. What can you draw on from that experience to go and cut down the net after 4 more wins potentially here?
Well, we have 5 returning kids from last year, so they've been there. They've been through it. We kind of know the routine. We're going back to Port Huron, so the whole, nothing new there. So you kind of, you're familiar with it. So we'll talk about that. 2 of our girls that are are newcomers, Kaylin Evans and Claire Hyde, are 2 girls that aren't familiar with it, but they play at a high level. They've been our top 2 leading scorers all year until Maya put up 38 the other night. But we'll be okay because we've been there and we're familiar with it. And I just think it's a 1 game at a time, approach. It's a long event. I mean, you got to play 4 games in 5 days. That's tough. But we've been there, so we've experienced it, and I think we'll be prepared in that regards.
And if you are to win 4 more games, you are to win the national championship, you will be only the 2nd Division II women's basketball program ever to complete the unbeaten national championship. The last 2017 Kirkwood went 37-0. When you put it in that perspective and you look at the history that potentially lies ahead of you, what do you make of it?
Wow, you just put some big odds on that. That's what I make of it. It's only happened 1 other time. So that would be based on what you said, that'd be a heck of a feat. Do I think we're capable of doing it? I do. I really do. But it's going to be a grind. It's going to be tough. It'd be an honor if we could do that. But there's a lot of good teams that are coming to this tournament.
Jason Nichols, he is the head coach of Morton, the #1 seed in this tournament, unbeaten this year at 31-0. Jason, congratulations. Thank you for the time, and all the best of luck.
You got it. See you in Port Huron.
Those are the top 4 seeds in this tournament. Morton is the #1 seed. Coming up next, we will fill out the rest of this bracket, introduce you to the first round pairings here on the Selection Show on the NJCAA Network.
Intensity fuels these champion student athletes to greatness. Zurich Insurance is proud to be the official provider of student athlete insurance for the National Junior College Athletic Association. Throughout the highs, we cheer along to their screams of victory. Throughout the lows, we support them through their tears of defeat. Zurich Insurance, helping student athletes play the sport they love.
have a little birthday message for you from someone too.
I heard you really love basketball. You're a good shooter and a good dribbler. Happy birthday, MJ, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
It's the D2 Women's Basketball Selection Show here from our NJCAA Network studio. We've already met the top 4 seeds in this bracket. Here they are. Morton, number 1. CCBC Essex, number 2. Kirkwood, number 3. And Johnson County, number 4. Let's fill out the rest of this thing. First, the 16 seed that'll take on Morton. United Tribes Tech. Northwest Plains District champions, just 9-19 on the season. United Tribes Tech is making its 3rd tournament appearance. They've all come since 2016. The number 8 seed, Richard Bland, 26-2 on the year. The South Atlantic A District champions were 16th in the final poll. It is their first tournament appearance in program history. In the first round, they will face Mid-Michigan, the Great Lakes A District champions. The Lady Lakers, 28-4 on the season. Their 2nd tournament appearance. They've all come since 2020. That's the upper left quadrant of your bracket. The 13 seed is Delta. They'll play Johnson County in the first round. Delta went 20-11, unranked in the final poll. Great Lakes C District champions. 2nd tournament appearance for Delta. Last one a dozen years ago in 2011. The number 5 seed is Harcum, 28-2 on the year. Their 3rd tournament appearance, and they are led by Amaris Baker, nearly 28 points per game. That leads all levels of NJCAA women's basketball. The East A District champions are the number 5 seed. They will face the number 12 seed, Danville Area Central District champions, 18-9 on the year. The Lady Jaguars were unranked in the final poll, but they make their first ever tournament appearance. And keep an eye on Alexis Mobley, ranked 4th in the country at 22.1 points per game. To the upper right, the 15 seed to take on CCBC Essex is Grand Rapids, the Great Lakes B District champions. 2nd tournament appearance for Grand Rapids. Both of them have come here in the last 3 years. The number 7 seed in this quadrant is Pima, the West District champs. 10th in the final poll, 8th tournament appearance all time for Pima. The number 10 seed, North Central Missouri, the Lady Pirates, 23-6 on the year, making their 5th tournament appearance. They finished in 6th place a season ago, Central Plains District champions. The number 14 seed to take on Kirkwood is Catawba Valley. Head coach Tisha England, in year number 10, has Catawba Valley in the tournament for the very first time. South Atlantic B District champions, Catawba Valley 16-12 on the year. They will get the reigning national champs in the first round. The last 2 teams remaining. Bryant and Stratton, Wisconsin is the number 6 seed. The Midwest A District champions, 4th tournament appearance. All have come since 2018 for Bryant and Stratton. They made a Final Four appearance a year ago. And the last remaining district champion, the number 11 seed, is Niagara County, the East B champions, the Thunderwolves. 4th tournament appearance for them. They've all come since 2019 for Niagara County. They did win their first ever national tournament game in 2022, just last year. Niagara County, 28-3 on the year. So here is the final bracket. First round games, March 21st and 22nd. The championship game is March 25th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time is the scheduled tip-off. All of these games, you can watch them on the NJCAA network. That includes consolation games. Coming up next, we'll get some answers for this seeding. We'll be joined by Tony Tompkins. He is the committee chair for the D2 Women's Basketball Selection Committee, and he'll explain to us the decisions 1 through 16. That's next here on the D2 Women's Basketball Selection Show.
Intensity fuels these champion student athletes to greatness. Zurich Insurance is proud to be the official provider of student athlete insurance for the National Junior College Athletic Association. Throughout the highs, we cheer along to their screams of victory. Throughout the lows, we support them through their tears of defeat. Zurich Insurance, helping student athletes play the sport they love.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed at Ticketsmarter.com.
We're back on the D2 Women's Basketball Selection Show, and we are now joined by the chair of the committee, his second year on the assignment, Tony Tompkins. Tony, thanks for being with us. You're at Johnson County, so this is very interesting because my understanding is that you were on the calls, but then you were not there for the final seeding. So let's sort all of this out. Johnson County, the number 4 seed, your school. Take us behind the scenes. Give us a little transparency on the committee. What exactly are you allowed to be involved with, and when do you have to recuse yourself?
So where I'm involved with this committee this year is able to basically speak on behalf of our region and able to be in conversations about other regions as well, but really not influence where I think they should be or anything like that. Basically, like the final vote would come down to whoever's left on the committee, and since our team's represented, it's only fair that I was not able to vote on that.
So you did not vote on any of the final seating, not just your own school, correct?
That is correct.
How does that work? Do you have to mute yourself on the call, hop off the call? How does all this stuff work?
Yeah, once they get close to where they're actually going to be voting, I recuse myself and leave the meeting completely.
Gotcha. So can you help explain the top seeds? Obviously, there's no at-larges this year. That's changing next year. We'll get to that in a second. But 1, 2, 3, and 4 all went according to the final poll, and Morton is the number 1 seed. So how did Morton emerge as number 1?
Just with their overall body of work, they're 28-0. Just they're very, very talented. Same with CCBC. CCBC really went out and played some really tough people across the nation. So we felt comfortable definitely all year long that they would be 1 and 2. Kirkwood being 3 seed, they have a lot of history being there as well as Johnson does. So I was obviously biased. I was pushing for Johnson, but committee disagreed with me on that one, but that's okay. But we felt like overall this year, that's kind of how things were playing out most of the years, those teams being in the top 4.
So it seems like maybe 1 and 2 with Morton and CCBC Essex was maybe pretty close, or no?
I think that was going to be pretty close too, because they both played really tough schedules.
Yeah. What overall was the toughest seeding debate? What number?
I would probably say the teams that weren't in the rankings all year. Like you got United Tribes, Catawba Valley, Grand Rapids, and Danville. Danville came out of Region 24. I don't think they were really getting votes at all this year. Same with Catawba, and Grand Rapids was kind of in and out. But I think those 4 teams right there, just because they really weren't in the poll that much this year, that was pretty difficult for the committee to try to put them in the right spots.
Any matchups that you tried to avoid? Teams from the same region or anything?
Yeah, we try to, if you can, try to. Region 12, they have like 3 bids, so that makes it a little bit difficult for them. But for the most part, it all works itself out.
Yeah. So next year, this tournament goes to 20 with 4 at-large selections. How's that going to change everything, the process?
I think the rankings are going to be very intense. I think as a committee, we try to be very consistent this year with how we are ranking people based on their strength of schedules. Next year, that's going to be definitely one of those standards. The standards are changing a little bit. Those will be in the bylaws of what we're going to be voting on in the summer. But definitely strength of schedule, probably history of the team and the conference or the region where they're coming from. That's definitely going to play a big part of it. But I think it's going to make the tournament stronger. I think we're going to have a really good tournament this year with all the teams that are involved with it. But next year, it's even going to be even stronger. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, strength of schedule, I guess, would be more important for everyone, right? Because there is a different pathway. Is that the number one most important thing that's going to be valued?
Yeah, I would say so. We try to do that all year long with our committee. Hats off to our committee. They do a really good job. Great conversations about that. I feel like we've been pretty consistent all year long with it.
And that was something you felt was important this year too, strength of schedule as far as seating?
Yes.
My understanding, talking to some folks at the NJCAA office, is that the women's basketball committee in D2 was the ones kind of more pushing for this at-large. What can you tell us about the process of getting to this point? Because obviously at-large selections is something that has been done increasingly over the last few years in Divisions 1 and Divisions 3.
Yeah, I would say I think it was about time. I was probably the lead person in trying to push this for the D2 side of things. I just felt like there were some teams that were represented that should be there. And really, overall, what we're just trying to do is create more opportunities for student athletes to make the national tournament and showcase their talents. Adding 4 teams, that's roughly 80 more student athletes that are able to attend and have this experience.
What do you think about the overall quality of this tournament, the final year of all 16 of them? They're all district champions. They've all cut down nets.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very, very competitive. I think it's very, very strong top to bottom. Looking forward to it.
Tony Tompkins, he is the committee chair for the D2 Women's Basketball Selection Committee. Tony, thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
One more time, here is the bracket for the Division II Women's Basketball Tournament. Morton is the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed, CCBC Essex, the number 3 seed, the reigning champs, Kirkwood, and the number 4 seed is Johnson County. They are the favorites in each respective quadrant. March 21st, it all gets started. The championship game is March 25th. St. Clair County Community College is the host. SC4 Fieldhouse is the venue. Port Huron, Michigan is the city. All games on NJCAA Network, including consolation games. That does it for our selection show. A thank you to our entire crew and to our guests for joining us. To all of the participants, congratulations and good luck. We'll see you in Port Huron, Michigan for the championships. This has been the D2 Women's Basketball Selection Show on the NJCAA Network.